Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today it's back into the PBEM challenge for WarPlan Pacific as we continue our game on here against the Japanese aggressors. And we are looking pretty good so far. Let's go to our reports here and look at the turn report that we got back from the Axis. Well, let's hope we did, because I've got the file, and that's the only way this game makes sense. The Philippines has surrendered. That was to be expected a few turns ago. So we held on a little longer than I would have suspected. Great, excellent, but it's now surrendered. That's fine. We'll go out and take a look. Supply convoy attacked at 95:35, destroying 80 stockpile by Axis naval forces. I believe this is at Rabaul. Then we have other things with no supply, source. We'll go check those out at some point. USA has low oil stockpiles still. That's driving me nuts. Let's go here and look at that low oil stockpile. It's only got 13. If we look at the build for the US, it's creating 20 every turn. Upkeep is taking 14, but our stockpile is only at 13. That's not good enough, gentlemen. So we're going to have to start thinking of ways to not be spending oil. Part of that is one thing I was thinking about last turn. This air unit out here, if we look at it, oil use 3 every time you use this thing. So we've got to be we got to be careful with that. It's a close support bomber, but we're going to put it on naval for now. This one on naval as well, the Australian one, and that way, if anything naval tries to come through this pass, we'll be all over it. But otherwise, we don't. We're not using up oil. I actually wouldn't mind getting this guy up and off the coast, or at least stacking him with something. Now his range is 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. Yeah, it can use 10. Now, this is going to take 3 oil. If you watch the U.S. oil, it's at 13 now. We put him in Townsville. Well, it was only down 12 because we didn't attack with him. So it did take 1 oil point to move him. But now he's at least protected by an infantry unit. I didn't like to have him up there. And he's got bigger range. His range is 10. And so that's a better idea, I do believe. All right. Um, Now then, let's go down through all of our alerts and then we'll go to the combat log. This unit has low supply. Okay. It got knocked out. Well, this is why we go to the combat log first. Let's go to the last turn so we understand why he's even there. Partisan activity in China, of course. Then we had land combat here. They attacked into Port Moresby. They actually pushed us out of Port Moresby. They took the 1 strength hit, but we did have to retreat. Land combat, they tried to attack us again. We held that time. Nothing happened. They couldn't move us. Land combat in Manila, they have finally pushed us out of Manila. Here's our unit, but I don't think we're going to be able to do anything with it. It's a dead man walking. Wow, then they just carrier struck it too. That seems a little rude. Uh, they they hit us there. Okay, fine. Current turn, partisans, partisans, partisans. Oh, no, this is a supply interdiction at Rabaul. This unit cannot survive, and we don't have transports to get it off, unfortunately, so he will eventually surrender. While we're here, let's move this unit to the east through the jungle. We're going to try to make it down to Milne Bay if we can. Okay, that was combat. Let's now deploy. Now the UK has nothing. The US has 2 anti-air defenses and the comment. Fine, com int, if you would rather. Communications intelligence. Let's take this anti-air, and when we deploy it, let's put it into Calcutta. I wanted one in Calcutta, so that's fun. Where else? Colombo could probably use one eventually, but it doesn't seem very pressing at the moment. We could put one in Townsville or Cairns or Darwin. Let's put this one in Darwin. Whoa, everything went green. Wow. This is every place you can put the communications intelligence. Honestly, I'm kind of curious what they have going on out here. We see that they've got some fleets out here, but we really don't know exactly what they are. Why don't we put this right there? Okay, and so it gives us a +4 for our detection level on some of these things. So to the extent that, that +4 helps, we'll get to know a little more about them within a 5 hex radius. Okay, that is everything we can do in the US. Soviet Union, nothing. China, not a whole lot going on. We've got the communists, the Canadians, they can't really do much. Uh, we now have 2 divisions or 3 divisions being built for the Indians, March 1st, March 19th, April 15th. That'll be great to get those in. New Zealand, nothing going on. Okay. Unit has no supply source. This was that unit at Davao. It's on Mindanao, southern Philippines. It's now gone. Then this unit has no supply source. Can he move at all? Oh, he can. Uh, he's got 2 days of supply left. Let's get him back up here to attack something. I mean, what else is he going to do? Okay, so he moves back up there. That's fine. Unit has no supply source. It's that same unit. This one went away. That was another one of those Filipino forces. This one can't do anything. It's totally trapped now by the Japanese. Port interdiction. Uh, it must be that port. Okay. Port supply interdiction out at Rabaul. Now we kind of knew that was going on. You could see that ship there. And then the partisan activity. Okay. That was, the land combat this time. We've looked at deployment. There's nothing else to deploy. Our reports turn summary. We saw that. War panel, nothing more we can do here until we can build another comment, or we try to break the Japanese codes. That costs 60. We've got 29 points for the UK right now, 38 for the US. US could get another comment unit next turn. Next turn. Um, Excuse me, I had to take a drink. Advancements. Let's go make sure we don't have any research centers that became available. We do not. We are continuing to advance. The Americans are actually down to only 194 days before they go to a 1942 assault squad, which will give them another guns and also a +1 defense. Excellent. All right. Um, but nobody has any other research centers. The Brits are 195 days from anti-tank. Yeah, that looks like about it. Okay, well, let's go look around at our troops. Um, India. All right. So now this unit is done for. There's no way we can get it out. It's just completely done for. This unit has been building. It's now up to a 20 of 30. This is a large core, 20 of 30 in strength. That's great. It's called First Corps. This unit is the one that we brought back from here. That's sitting at 10 of 10. Now, let's put that. They can't attack that way, I don't think. They have to go up through there. So sitting a unit there isn't maybe the most important thing. This guy's also 10 of 10. Now they could try to do some kind of an amphibious landing, but I'm not really sure that that makes much sense either. Now, if they get in here, we don't want them to get down here. Let's put him there for now, and let's put this one that we brought over from here. Um, hmm. I almost want to put him back here. Oh, I kind of do. He's not being very aggressive out here, the Japanese are not. Let's put him back here. He's a 10 of 10. He's really tough. This is going to be a tough one to move if we can get him dug in. That's a 40. He's a 41 anti-tank. He's only a 39. He's a 42 assault. He's a 42 anti-tank. Now then, I'm starting to think a little differently about all this. These two are fine. Uh, Maybe I move this guy down here and eventually move this guy around. up to there because they can't move this way. You have to go that way, right? He can move down there, but you have to go up and around. You can't go this way. Interesting. Okay, I am going to move him back down here right across the river for now. Then I'm going to move this guy up here, and next turn, 41, he's 42 anti-tank. He's 10 of 10. He's 10 of 10. He's one dug in already, but okay, we'll move this guy up here next time and let him continue to dig in. We may eventually reverse this back out and put him, somewhere else. But I'm going to move him up, or I'm going to move him around up to here because they can't move across that little bay right there. I guess they could land amphibiously here. I'm not expecting that. Okay, not a whole lot to do at Colombo. We've got the 11th Destroyer Flotilla out here. All right. Um, we've got the De Ruyter sitting here at Diego Garcia. I think I'll just leave the De Ruyter here. Why not? I also think the Cornwall will just go back and forth in there, and we'll just take the 11th Flotilla back and forth in here. That all looks fine to me. What's going on at the UK African bases? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Let's get over to Australia. What do you say? Darwin. We're going to move this unit right up into Darwin. He can start to dig in there. We already got our plane sorted. That looks good. That looks fine. Everything in southern Australia is fine. This infantry division, we're going to try to get to Milne Bay. Now, we've got a decision to make. Um, and that really is with these subs. Are we going to go attack here? I don't think so. I don't care if he takes these islands or not. It just doesn't matter. Luganville is a size 3 port. This Port Vila is not a size port at all. Well, this one's no, I'm sorry, it's a 1. It's a 1. Okay. Great. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna waste oil or submarine use or anything else with that. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about just taking these submarines up to his convoy routes. Eh, I don't know. I don't know. They've got a lot of supply left. They can just kind of hang out up here. I think I'm just going to leave him for now. Nothing going on at Suva, which is a good thing. He's up to a 7 of 10. Pago's up to a 7 of 10. We can take him off priority. Um, did our plane unit? Nope, still 5 of 20. I'm telling you, you cannot repair the dang thing. It's driving me nuts. Now, we decided not to bring our carriers down here last time. We're just going to leave them at Pearl. We've got a little bit of a low oil situation, and that whole task force costs like 7 oil to move. So let's build up our oil a little first before we get adventurous. We've got the 17th DD. That's fine. We've got the 27th out here. He's, again, going to help against any submarine attacks within 12 hexes of him in either direction. This unit's here. These guys should all be fine. We left them behind. How are our battleships doing? 2 of 4, 1 of 4, 2 of 4. Okay. We've also got this squadron that could go out. Sure, why not? Um, let's take them. Is it necessary? I don't think it's necessary. He's not being very aggressive. Let's just save the oil for now. I don't think he's going to hit our convoys over there. Nothing to do at Pearl Harbor or Honolulu or any of these islands. Where's Canton now? He's up to a 5. What's Midway doing? Midway is up to a 5. Okay, so they're building up. Now, they may eventually get interdicted, and that'll just all be a waste, but at least we ought to build them up for now. Let's go up to China and see what's going on. All right, it looks like he's pushing this way towards Lanchao. If we turn on supply, Lanchao is a major supply source. To me, it's the hardest one to get to. And so if he wants to come this way, that's fine. I hope it's a nice big honey pot for him. But I don't necessarily see the utility in it for him. We're just going to keep moving back slowly with the communists. and see what happens. Our units out here, he's up to a 19 of 30. Wow, very impressive. Nice looking unit there. This guy's 8 of 15, 9 of 15. They're all getting dug in here and getting dug in very snugly. 8 of 15, 8, 7. He needs to stay on priority. This guy's a 7. Oh yeah, wasn't I going to combine somebody out here? I thought that's what I was gonna do. Um, this guy I want to move up one. Oh, that's right. And this guy I want to move there. And now we kind of cut, down any problems there. These guys could go back together, but we're just gonna leave it like this for now. I feel a little naked in and around Chungking. I am gonna move this unit down one. Maybe two. All right, he's very mobile. He can get around on the back. That's why I like to have him back here. Uh, Down here, he's really not making a big play for this at all. 15 of 30. These guys are all like 15 of 30, right? We got to get them bumped up. This guy's only 14. All right, that's okay. This guy's 12 of 15, very nice. 11 of 15. They need to get better. As a matter of fact, he's important. I'm going to put him on priority. Down here, this little feint we made into Canton evidently scared him a little bit. He's getting back over there. This unit, I never quite know what to do with it. Let's put him. Well, you know what? Let's keep him right there. This unit can stay. I could split him, couldn't I? 15 of 30. Let's do that. And then let's put that unit right there. We'll also put this on priority. Um, just so we're representing maybe a little more defense than we actually have. This unit can always retreat straight up this road as soon as we see the Japanese coming, so I'm just going to leave him there. Why not? This all looks fine. Kunming, this all looks fine. That all looks good. I like it. I like it. All right, let's go to the build. Actually, let's look at convoy very quickly. UK still sending 12 production and 1 oil to India and 4 production and 1 oil to New Zealand. That seems fine. That seems fair. The British have 43 oil in their stockpile now, only 20 production. We've been building up some of their units. That's getting a little thin, really, to be honest. The US, what are you sending out? 34 production to Australia, 3 oil, 2 and 1 to New Zealand. All right, let's go down and look at New Zealand. Their oil situation is a 9. That's actually pretty good for New Zealand. I'll take that. I'll take that. The US 20, 14, but only 12 in the stockpile. We've got to do a little better there. UK meanwhile producing 5, upkeep 3, but their stockpile is now up to 43, so that's pretty dang good. They've only got 20 in their stockpile of production. Their upkeep is costing 36. I've been doing that. Let's crank that back a little bit to 25. The U.S. has really been, upping their forces. We're going to crank that back just a little bit now that we're past the kind of I don't know, emergency stage where we've got to get units built up very quickly. That should be a nice little pace. It's 280. I guess it's like 35, 40%, right? Something like that. That's pretty good. And so is this, right? That's a little less than 30%. So that looks good to me. US, we're actually not going to build anything this time. I want air units. I want another air unit. And I think we can almost get one if we do things this way. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put him down to 128 for a turn. Nothing to do with the Soviet Union, the Chinese, their upkeep. We just keep pumping it all into upkeep. That's fine by me. Australia, finally, we got those U.S. supplies in there, so that was very helpful. They've got their stockpile up to 45. Their upkeep is going pretty dang well. We'll take that. I could even bump him just a little bit more on the reinforcement upgrade. Canada up to 45. The communists up to 60. 4. They're still, again, their upkeep is nothing. They haven't taken any losses. India this time, their stockpile, ouch, their stockpile went way down. We got to make sure that we don't let that, get in a bad shape. So let's take this down to 31 this time. We really beefed them up last time, so that looks fine. New Zealand reinforcement and upgrade, we'll keep that at 11. That's okay. That's okay. So really, we're not going to build anything this time. So I think that's all we have to do. I mean, we're still in kind of maintenance mode. We're waiting to see where the Japanese will go next. I can tell you, he's not being very aggressive, which generally would lead in our favor because eventually the US and the UK just pump out so much stuff. So the Japanese have to be really aggressive early. So anyway, I'm not going to quite call this an episode. What I'm going to do, since it was only like 20 to 21 minutes to get through the turn, is I'm going to stop this episode now. I'm going to come back whenever he returns the turn, and we'll put the next turn in this episode as well. So thanks for joining me. Stick around. I mean, to you, in 1 second, literally, I'll be back, but I am going to stop this episode until we get the next turn back. Strategy Gaming Dojo. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is actually turn number 7, but I think I'm going to make this an episode, put this into the episode with the turn before, which was turn 6. So I won't do a whole strategy gaming dojo. Hey, you get it. We're here. Let's go ahead and play this turn out. Turn 7. It's February 15th, 1942. Japan invades the UK, and you may say, is London under threat? No, that's actually into India. They are now into India, which is considered well, it was a UK quote unquote protectorate at this point, or colony, if you will. The USA's Philippine division was shattered. India's 2nd Brigade Group was destroyed. That is the one that was stranded. We couldn't quite get it out. It was the Rangoon Group. They're done. Also, that US Philippine division lasted a lot longer than we expected them to. And then we see a bunch of warnings here. The U.S. is low on oil stockpiles still, even though we're kind of trying to conserve those. We have a lot of submarines out there. We kind of willy-nilly bombed with the air group that uses 3 oil. We'll have to build those up. Okay, let's go to the combat log. What happened last time? Well, partisans, Chinese partisans are the best partisans. Naval air interdiction. Okay, they did that out here. Now we're trying to move this unit. Off we go. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Um, ha ha ha. I see. I spoke too soon. This naval air interdiction was us, the U.S., the United States of America, the USAFFE here, did a naval airstrike. The defending ship was the 66th Division. The 66th. That is a transport ship. We hit it and gave them 6 points of losses to this unit. So we did use 3 oil, but in a damn good way. We just hit one of their transports. Wow. Okay, so we have this on full support. That automatically will go bomb things if it thinks it's a good idea. Well done, AI. Okay. Land combat, we got pushed back here again. Well, it says we held. We didn't get pushed back. We got attacked here and we held. Okay. Invasion. All right. Well, they've landed on this island here outside of Rabaul, New Britain here. Okay. They still haven't taken that. I don't think he's down to 1 strength. That's not going to last more than the next turn. There was land combat here. This is where that U.S. Philippine unit got destroyed. All right. Well, not quite. He retreated and then got destroyed. Same difference. No, he retreated even again. That is like the toughest unit I've ever seen in this game. He lasted a long time, all the way into February. Took 3 retreats or 2 retreats there and finally got shattered. And then we had this land combat, which destroyed that unit that came out of Rangoon, and we couldn't get all the way out. In the current turn, we have partisan activity. Yes, we do. Okay. Um, let's go over to India and look at the situation. They have really moved aggressively. They're up to Chittagong. Chittagong Bong Gong, one of my favorite towns. I've never been there, but it sounds like it would be one of my favorite towns. This unit does not need to be down here, I think we've determined. He's a 10 of 10. So is this one, though. What I think I'm going to do is go ahead and move this unit up and try to get him dug in as fast as we can. Now, this unit is only a 7 of 10. I'm actually going to put him there, and I'm going to move this unit up, which is a 10 of 10. Now, that would kind of stop them from getting this unit triple attacked. All right. That's what you really want to avoid is a unit getting hit from three sides because that really hurts them. Even a big one. And you say, yeah, that really hurts them. No, no shoot. Well, I'm just saying, they can only bring so much strength to bear in a hex encounter game like this. What you have to avoid is getting surrounded. And so having two units stacked side by side can be quite powerful. Let's then move this back behind the river. And I think this looks great, actually. I love this defensive setup. We've got the air superiority group flying overhead up to a range of 6. We've got it set to bomb armies if we need it to, but it's really running air superiority. We've got this 10 of 10. He needs to start getting dug in. This guy's double dug in, and he's a large infantry corps. That's going to be hard to move. Even if this guy gets moved, we've got backup behind him. If this guy something happens, we've got two backups behind him that are both 10 and 10. So we've got our 10s on the divisions in strong positions. We've got a little backup here. These guys are up to what, a 7 and a 10 and an 8 and a 10. This guy will actually back off of priority. And maybe the 20, I'm tempted to make this guy like more priority. Not. Okay, I really don't have, I built these guys up pretty well. I'm going to keep him on priority, and we'll keep the air superiority group on priority. Now down here, we've got this 8 of 10. He's on priority. He does not need to be. The British headquarters, looking good, looking good. Just hanging in Bombay. Can't beat that. This unit needs to go back in, get some supply. That's fine. You can see the Brits here. They've got the Hermes, which is a terrible carrier. It just is not a good. Hide this thing if you can. The Revenge, the Prince of Wales, the Exeter, and now the Destroyer is in. We also have these guys down here, and this one also needs to go in. We'll have him go into Diego Garcia, which is a level 4 port, so it can handle up to 4 naval units. We've got 2 in there, Cornwall and De Ruyter. Just kind of hanging out. He's not pressuring us very much in the sub lanes, the convoy lanes, and so really running these out here until we see him, maybe we just kind of hold back, save our oil, save the trouble, really. I mean, he's not in the convoy lanes right now, and so we see U.S. has a low stockpile. All right, we already knew that. It's down to 11, and I was grousing that we were using that air unit was using 3. Well, he put it to good use that last time. That was excellent. Unit has low supply. Okay, this can go back into LA. I may just leave it there until we see him out here doing something. Um, We'll take this one into French Polynesia. That's a level 1. This one's a level 1. Yeah, that's fine. We'll take him in there. He'll get some supply. We'll take this guy into the Cook Islands. All right. He can get some supply. Who else is low? All right, we moved him. This guy is low. We'll take him into Brisbane. That's fine. Um, Shoot, these subs maybe we'll even put up in mothball. I was sitting around here waiting. Now, if we look at the map, he's really moved over to these locations, right? Makes you think that he's thinking about an invasion of Australia, but he'll probably come down here to Nomaya first. I'm tempted to, continue to hang out here, but why don't we put them in port, get them juiced up again, and then if he does come out, or if he does come for it, we'll have total supply. These guys can really operate. They don't have to come back in. I think there were like 3 and 4 of day or turn supply. Now you see the British unit out here at Rabaul. He's in big trouble. Oh, the Moresby unit. Okay, well let's get down in here on him. We're going to try to move him. Now, it looks like he's got an invasion force. This is a transport. He's probably trying to put on the beach there and beat us to Milne Bay. He may do it. He may do it. I don't know. We're going to take that off priority, by the way. Um, this unit in Cairns still is not building up. Man, these tactical groups take forever to build. I say, as the American one is now at 20 at 20. So this unit has built quite nicely. Let's get the Australian unit built up. Come on, game. Let's go. What else? What other warnings do we have? No supply. Okay, well, we kind of knew that. What is he down to? 1 day? Well, he could almost make it to Milne Bay. Let's see. This is the unit we moved into Diego Garcia. We had Partis. No, this was the no supply guy here. That's in red. And then we've already seen the partisan activities on the map. Okay. Oh, one thing I did forget to do is I like to turn the Russians onto garrison. Um, is that necessary? Not really. But they may as well save as much as they can. I mean, if for some reason they come into the war, we may as well just go ahead, garrison them up. Now these specialized units like the Mountain Corps, they cannot go to garrison. That's that goes for the Chinese and the Soviets so far I've noticed. I believe it also goes for the American and British or otherwise specialized units. Um, Okay. Look at him really coming for Lan Chow. Let's go back over here to India. We'll just make sure we've got everything lined up the way we want it. I honestly, this is to me the best defense you can have in India. And don't forget, we are only 2 turns away, now 3 turns from starting to get British units. Let's go to the deploy. The Ramillies is ready. Let's deploy that for the Brits. You got to do it down here is the only place that they deploy. Okay, the Ramillies is in. We'll click off that and move it really fast so we don't forget. Let's just take it to, it can't make it all the way to Colombo, so let's just take it into Diego Garcia. That works for me. What else do we have to deploy? U.S. 37th Division and the 20th Bomber Group. That sounds exciting. Why don't we use the mini map? All right. So we have a new division. Is there any place? Yeah, we can put them right in Portland. Let's do that. Now, if they're not in a 9 place, they do take a little extra supply. Like 9, they're automatically supplied. They take a little extra if they're out of that. So just remember that. Try to put them in towns if you can or on major supply sources. All right, so he's into Portland. That looks good. The bomber group, where are we going to put them? Where do we want to deploy them? Let's just put them in. I guess we could put them really in anywhere, but let's put them in Seattle. That's fine. And this is a strategic bombing group, I do believe. Yeah, these are the big boys, the big 17. We'll put them on naval for now and full sport. We don't really want them strategic bombing anything out. I guess it'd be interesting if the Japanese fleet comes up here. It'd be kind of fun. They do have a range of 14. They guzzle up the oil, but man, they'll put a hurting on things. So strategic bombing 41, we've now got one of those. We've got several TAC bombing ones. Has this built up at all? It's 10 of 20. Okay, what about this one? He's 20 of 20, right? But he already was. Oh, this one that's in San Francisco, let's have this on full support and bomb naval. Again, that's just, a precaution in case any kind of Japanese task force comes up here. So that looks good. This guy at Morro Bay, let's put him on garrison. There's no reason to have him active, I don't think. Astoria, this guy in Portland, we could put him in a garrison. The guy we just got. Astoria, Seattle will keep active. We'll keep this one in San Fran active. That's Guy's Garrison active, and the Marines have to be active. Okay, anybody else to deploy? I don't think so. Soviet Union, supply truck. Aussies, dang Canadians, communists, India. Hey, next turn we get another Indian unit. That's actually kind of good. Not kind of good. It is good. So the next this turn, and then not the next turn, but the turn after that, we get a couple new Indian divisions. Nothing going on with the Kiwis. All right, now we can get back over here and look around. Um, this is all good. I mean, we've kind of looked over this now 3 times. I think that's fine. In China, we will just kind of block up this road to the extent we can, just kind of discourage them from coming this way into China. Kunming, we've got a nice little cocoon around Kunming. Out here at Hongshui, where we have evidently some grain is being grown in Hongshui. Gives us 9 production, I think, something like that. It's agriculture. It's a special production. Um, we've got this headquarters here with these guys are building. Let's look at these guys on priority. Okay, 8 of 15, 9 of 15. They don't really need to be on priority anymore. Anything over 50%, I try to take them off and pump up the guys that really need it. This guy's still on 15 to 30, 15 to 30, 15. Yeah, geez. None of these guys really got any better. Um, we need them to be stronger. I mean, they're going to come under attack eventually. It just hasn't quite happened yet. This guy's actually 19, but these guys are doubly dug in now, and I'm just not going to move them unless we have to. This unit's pretty strong, 11 of 15. We got an 8 and a 9. I'm going to go ahead and keep them on priority. No, may as well. The Flying Tigers, they need to build up. They're only at 8 of 20. We do have them on bomb armies. I like that. 6 is the range, oil use 1. China does have 22 oil, so they're plenty fine. Nothing, this is actually in range. We could bomb it if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that. So those guys are on priority. We have a 10, a 10. That looks pretty good. We have a 9 and a 9. These guys really don't need to be on priority anymore. They're up to a 9. Got the headquarters here. Looks like he's trying to, think about moving down here, but he really hasn't yet. These guys are both 8s. We do have this kind of mobile cavalry unit in case we get in trouble. Hey, look at this guy. He already jumped up to a 15. He was like a 10. No, he was maybe a 5. I mean, he was not good. Let's actually split him. Um, we'll take them both up this way, but we'll represent a little stronger than maybe actually we are. We'll put one of these like in the hills, and we'll put this one up here somewhere, um, and kind of move out of Chengdu for now. For now, 8, 8, 9, 8, 19. That all looks very good. He's got this 10 unit. That's a very strong unit, obviously, but okay. It looks like he's trying to push into the mountains here. Again, okay. I mean, if he wants to come this way, I'm fine with that. Ultimately, I don't think he can get and take Lan Chao. These are strong units. I could even break this into 2, and maybe I will, or maybe I should. Um, but even if he took Lan Chao, it's really kind of the least important place in China as far as the main places. Changsha, Chongqing, Chengdu, and Kunming, much more important. If you can keep this kind of triangle of 4 cities and 4 main supply areas, that's what matters. If he comes up here and takes this, I mean, it gives him better supply for sure to try to come down to Chengdu and Chongqing. But honestly, if I was him, I mean, in all fairness, Changsha is very hard to take as well. And so maybe he's trying to come up here, get this main supply, then he thinks he can push down here. It's a valid strategy. I'm not sure it's one that I would pursue, but it makes some sense. All right. What do we got going on? Nothing in the Philippines, nothing out here. We already moved him. Okay, nothing really in Australia. We need more Australian units, dang it. That reminds me, we should go up to our convoys. let's go up to our convoys and just make sure we're using these the way we want. The Brits are sending 12 to India, 4 to New Zealand as far as production goes, and one oil. One and one oil. They could send out more oil. Now, they can only send out 25% of whatever they produce. Well, that even can't be true. Hold on. I think it's 25% of what they have. Well, I don't know. Let's look at the Brits. They're only producing 5 oil and they can send 8, right? So it is 20% of the oil stockpile, I guess. Um, I don't know where I came up with 25%. I'm not sure. But with production, I think that I think that has to be well, maybe that is 20% because they are sending out how much? They're sending out 16. I'm no mathematician. No, that's 25% of 65, right? Okay, so they're producing 65. They can export 25% of that. With oil, it seems they can do 20% of their stockpile or some such thing. Um, Okay, good to know. There is a limit on it, and ultimately, when you go here to convoys, it'll tell you if there's any available to send. Now, the U.S. has a lot of available production to send, but they've got no merch marines to send it. The Brits have 52 extra merch marines. The U.S. is using all of theirs. If we look at the build areas here, um, Merchant Marines, the Brits have 105, they're using 53. The US has 40 and is using 40. And so that ain't going to cut it, boys. That ain't going to cut it. We may want to add more Merchant Marines and just pump even more stuff into Australia because he is not threatening our convoy lines at all. At all. Let's continue to look around the map, though, before we get to the build queue. There's really nothing to be done in Australia until they get more units. We put the subs in here at Nomaya and Auckland. Let's see if our infamous unit here built up. Of course he did not. Now, how is that possible? Dang it. I don't get it. I don't get it. This guy is garrison. Yeah, he can stay garrison. What about this unit? He's up to 8 of 10. Maybe it's this unit that's hogging it all. He's 7 of 10. I kind of want to bring my carriers up here because I think we could scare him a little bit with that. As far as not coming to attack Suva, if we can keep Suva, that is huge. We've moved all of these convoy protectors in to like save oil. Um, ooh, do I dare? We just don't have enough oil right now to do it. Maybe I'll give it another turn. If he still hasn't threatened Suva, we'll take it out there maybe, and do that. In the US, there's nothing they can do. We don't have any transports. It's going to be uh, 3 more turns before we get transports, I do believe. We can go look. The first British transport is March 21st. Well, the way turns happen in this game, that'll be the third turn from now. The US gets a transport March 23rd, and then we really don't get the big bulk of them until like May. They take forever to build, too. We do get the Hornet. We get a new carrier on March 20th. Can't beat that. 2 new divisions coming in, Third Corps. We've got a lot of infantry strength coming in the next few turns with nowhere to go. And well, it's not that they don't have places to go; it's nobody to take them. What can you do? We can't move troops without transports. And it's one way that they even the game up, right? It makes sense. It's historical. The Allies did have a huge problem with transports and oil at the start. That did not last, but it definitely was a problem at the start. So again, I don't really think there's too much we can move. We've got everything set up the way we want defensively in India and China. We've got Australia, looks fine. We actually even put up bloodied his nose a little bit up by Moresby. That all looks good to me. Let's go to the build queue. The Brits now have 49 reinforcements and upgrades are running strong. Let's keep doing it. That's fine. This will build again and we'll get another unit. The US now has 401. All right. Let's build some air units. And what I want are air superiority units. That's really what I'm going for. That will cost 300. This would be the second fighter group. I like it. Let's do it. Now you can see the US used almost all of its point for upkeep. It's got a lot of understrength units at the start. So let's purchase this air superiority group. It will take 6 months before these guys show up. 180 days, 12 game turns. Hell, my goodness, what a long period of time. Support. Let's go to the Merchant Marines and let's buy 10 more Merchant Marines and we'll have one left in the stockpile there, guys. But let's do it. All right. So we've got Merchant Marines and we've got air superiority on the way. And let's kind of crank this back even a little more, down to 108. With the Brits, we'll keep it at 25. 108, that looks about right. I like to have it at about 25 or 30% ultimately. In the stockpile, the Soviets can now build, yeah, they can, another infantry army. So let's just do that. We'll call it the, I don't know, SEP Coastal Army. Sure. It's an assault army, 42. They have now got an infantry army built. The Chinese are putting almost everything into upkeep, right? They're producing 63 a turn. Upkeep took 59. They've only got 37 in the stockpile, but luckily we want these to build. I mean, that's what we want to happen because they've got a lot of units already, and we can even split what they've got, but they've got to, build up a little bit. The Australians are up to 79 in their stockpile, which means they can get a new assault army. 1942, they could do an anti-tank, I guess. 7, 6. Yeah, let's do anti-tank. Infantry division. We got to give it a name. I don't know. Let's talk it. Let's call it the 10th division. All right. X division. Sure. Okay, Aussies or Aussies. I was told. Let's go. Canada's sitting on their maple syrup stockpile. The communists 77. It's going to take them 180 because they have to build a full army, and so they're building at 13 a time, but what can you do? India putting almost everything to upkeep. It's only got 21 in its stockpile. Now we're not dumping as much in there because we're dumping more into Australia. Let's look at the US again. It is sending 34 and 3 and then 2 and 1 to New Zealand. US and UK both try to help New Zealand a little bit. The US dumping into Australia, the UK dumping into India. And so that's just how I do it. I don't know. It makes sense to me. So that looks good. So India can't build anything else. We want to keep the upkeep going. The Kiwis, we want it all to upkeep. If it works, yeah, let's jump it up. You can't do more than your production though for upkeep in a turn. I think that's it. Usually at the end of I just show you how I usually do things. At the end of a turn, I go to type of units and I go through here and I think about where each unit is. And this report is very helpful because if you want to know, now I know that's in Diego Garcia, we just put it there, but if you click on that, it takes you exactly where it is. You also get a big overview of what you actually have here. We've got a lot of warships. We've only got the one large warships, the Prince of Wales. A lot of, we've got these battleships back in San Francisco. Okay. We've got the Canberra that's a little hurting. Where is the Canberra? Oh, we put it back in Brisbane. That was actually a bad idea. Since it's only at 2 of 3, we should put it in Sydney because that's got a repair. It's a 5 or greater port. If you look at this number down here, it's a 7. The Canberra can repair down here. It cannot do so at Brisbane. As we go down, we have this bomber group. Where's that one? That one's in Seattle. Okay, we just put that there. What about 4th Bomber Group? That's in San Fran. You can see what kind of bomber group they are here. Close support. We have several of those and a few that really need to upgrade. I think that's about it for this time. I'd really like the Flying Tigers to get up to a 40, 41. They were much better than this historically. Come on, Alvaro. They were much better than that. Second Marine needs to build up. That's the one in San Diego. Let's put that on priority repairs. Okay. I think that's going to do it for this turn and this episode. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm really enjoying this game. We'll see. I think we're in really good shape. The Japanese player in this one not being entirely aggressive, which I think can be a mistake. I think as a Japanese player, you kind of got to go for broke. I know it's hard to do sometimes. You think, oh, I'm overextending, I'm doing this. The Japanese got to make their hay before the US and UK start getting units, and really before May of 42 when the onslaught of units starts. But we'll see. Hey, who knows? Maybe he's got a strategy that's gonna backfire on me, and you'll say, "Hey, remember when you said that?" And he took it a little slow at the start, and then just absolutely smoked you. Let's hope that doesn't happen. All right, guys, thank you so much. Strategy Gaming Dojo. I'm out.